So you're curious about the Bobcat 300 and what it's like with shipping, what it's like to set up, and how much HNT am I earning? Well, I've got the video just for you. So if that sounds good to you, let's hop in and let's make it happen. And if you're curious, today I'm enjoying Justin with the recording of this video. It is my favorite Cabernet in this price range. It is a fantastic wine. All right, let's move on forward. There's a lot of videos out there about unboxing of the Bobcat miners. Everyone's talking about how much HNT they're making. I want to touch on some other aspects of what it takes to have a Bobcat miner, what it takes in terms of the experience I've had with setting it up, and then also how much am I earning with my miners. But the first topic I want to get into right away is shipping. That is one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. If they do, they kind of brush it off, say, hey, it's going to be X amount of weeks. But I want to give you my experience. So first starting off here, if you go to the Bobcat Miners website, you go to their product, you're going to see it comes right to the 300, going to show the price, yada, 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 how you can buy it. And it's going to say right here, number 2, estimated shipping time is 20 to 28 weeks from order date. So the experience I had personally when I first bought them last year, June, okay, end of June is when I bought them, they had on their website, it was going to take 12 to 16 weeks. You're thinking, okay, you know, that's 3 to 4 months. You know, I can, wait. I'm patient. This is not something I need right away that I have to have right now in order to, start mining HNT. It would have been great to have it within that time frame, but it did not come within that time frame. So, give you a little advice here. So I ordered them back in June, end of June. It took a good 7 months to get to me. When they said it was going to be 3 to 4 months, it took 7. All right, so that alone, I would tell you, do not buy the Bobcat 300. There are other helium mining miners that are out there that are having, flash drops to where you can instantly buy one the day of, but they have a limited quantity. And so, of course, you got to buy it within like the first 10 minutes. So that is my recommendation there in terms of the shipping. Don't wait, because when they say here 20 to 28 weeks, I don't believe it. I do not believe it whatsoever. I could see that being more like 24 to 32 weeks. Basically, at this point now, you're looking, shoot. It could be anywhere from 9 to 10 months, almost a year. Do you really want to wait a whole year to get your Bobcat 300? Or buy one of the other competitors that are out there and start mining HNT sooner? That's my recommendation. That's kind of my biggest issue, and other people have had issues with the shipping side of the Bobcat 300. Like I said, I'm very thankful to have it now, but I wouldn't recommend it now, knowing how much further out they've pushed that deadline. Moving right along, if you end up getting a Bobcat 300, or if you already have one and you're curious what products to buy, let me show this real quick here for you. So obviously, if you're new, you're looking to buy one, you can just go straight through the website. You can choose the model. Make sure you choose what frequency you need based on what country you are in. Okay, so in the US, you got to get the 915. Okay, make sure you purchase the correct frequency. I've seen people on Discord. I've seen people in comments on other people's videos saying, "Crap, I bought the wrong frequency," and you don't want to deal with that hassle, okay? So just make sure, if you're in the US, make sure you get that 915. If you're in Europe, 868, etc., okay? Make sure to get the right one. I'm not going to show you how to purchase one here. There are videos like from Voscoin's channel. He does an excellent job on how to actually purchase one with your USDC or your ERC20 token. Okay, go watch some of his videos. He does a great job. All right, and I already talked about the shipping. And so this is the model that you want. This is the current one to use. When it comes out to everything included, shipping and whatnot, it's going to come out to about $500. That's what I found out when I purchased mine. All right, just keep that in mind. Once you get everything included, tax and whatever. Do keep in mind too, there is a import duty tax. So if you buy, let's say you buy 3, 4, 5, or 10 of these miners, you may see a import duty tax. So keep that in mind. When I purchased mine, I only got 2, and I wasn't charged that tax because it was under that threshold. I believe right now it's $1,600 as of recording this video. Don't hold me to that, but just keep in mind, if you end up going buying 5, or you buy 10 of those miners, you're going to get charged a import duty tax into your country. Just keep that in mind, all right? Also, one thing to keep in mind here, I'm gonna show you what the antenna comes with. This antenna here, they're gonna ship this one to you. It's tiny, and I don't have it out right now, which is fine. But it's absolutely tiny. It's worthless. I would not recommend using it. If you, say you invest in a higher antenna, which I'll show you here in a second, and it's still gonna come in for a couple days, hook this one up just at least to get the miner started and be able to start earning HNT. It'll be very minimal compared to what it will be once you hook up a much, shall we say, stronger DBI antenna. So this is what will come with it, all right? And moving forward here, so you will get that box, but you're going to want to invest in a nice cable. But actually, let me show the antenna here. All right. So these are the antennas that I purchased. It's a 5.8 dBi fiberglass antenna. It is a bundle, so you get 2, and I got 2 because I purchased 2 Bobcat miners. I wanted to upgrade both antennas. The reason I went with these is because I knew that I was in a suburban area with both of my miners, and I did not want to, say, overshoot all the other antennas, the Bobcats or any other HNT miners, because I had such a high dBi. But I also didn't want to have such a low dBi that, yes, I was getting a great signal in my little area, my block, but I was not shooting out far enough in terms of my coverage to where I could not get other helium miners at a longer distance. So the sweet spot for me, based on my location, based on my territory, based on my elevation, was the 5.8 dBi, okay? I got 2, like I said. And then, of course, you can pick between what you want here. You can go with a black one. I went with white just because I preferred that. Nothing too crazy, but make sure to get the N-type to RP -SMA, okay? Make sure to get that, and then also make sure to select your correct frequency. Don't just assume that it's going to assess what frequency you need. Make sure you get the correct frequency, okay? And then decide how many you want, and then boom, add to cart, okay? So that's pretty easy. Those are the antennas that you want. You might need these brackets. You will not need these cables. Just keep that in mind. They come with antennas, but you do not need them, okay? You just basically want the fiberglass antenna, okay? And then moving on forward here. So you've seen the antenna. This is the cable that you want to get here from USA Coax. You can go on their website here. Let me go to the homepage. And you can already see they have already pre-made options for you. You want to go with the LMR 400. They do have a UF for Ultraflex if you need more flexibility with your cable. I just purchased this helium LMR 400. That works just fine for me. Yes, it is stiffer, but it works just fine. I have no issues with it whatsoever. If you want to pay a little bit extra money, you can get that Ultraflex. But you can choose what length that you want. For example, I went with the 25 footer, okay? Just based on what I knew where I would be placing my miner. I had one in an attic, and I knew I would need that length for my miner to get away from where the antenna was. But you may not need 25 feet, okay? And for example, you may need, hey, you know what? I only need an 8-foot distance here. Just keep in mind that the shorter your cable, the better, no, let's put it this way. The longer your cable, the more signal loss you will have with that coax cable, okay? So keep that in mind. So if you go with an 8-foot or a 10-foot, you're gonna have less signal loss as opposed to what I did with a 25-foot, okay? And there are calculators out there that you can go on and figure out how much dBi loss you will have. But just keep that in mind, rule of thumb, the shorter your cable, the better it is for your signal, okay? And then you're gonna pick your connection combination here. You're going to want to go with this RP-SMA male to N female, okay? And it's gonna show you this plus 12 bucks there as of right now. Make sure that this is the one you get because you will have that male end. It's a smaller section here. Let me see if I can show you here. No, let me go to Bobcat. Yeah, here we go. So you're gonna see the this is the male connector here on the antenna. You're gonna have that similar end connection that you wanna plug into the Bobcat, okay? And the reason I'm not showing this to you right now is because I have all my antennas set up, so I have to show you pictures here. And then you're going to then have an end female on the end that plugs into your rack antenna here, okay? That is what you want to select for that connector combination. You can do a heat sink if you want. I didn't know. And then you can pick how many you want, okay? So for me, I did 2, obviously, because I have 2 antennas. All right, so that is the product there. That's basically it. You've got your miner here, okay? So you got your miner there. You have your antennas from Rack Wireless there. You've got your nice coax cable here. And it did take that long for everything to come in. So, I mean, well, let's say not the Bobcat miners. That took 7 months, okay? But the cable and the antennas took, anywhere from, I think it was about 6 days to 12 business days. So it didn't take that long. It actually came sooner than I thought it would have. I was expecting like 2 to 3 weeks because for the rack antennas here, they were coming from overseas in Asia, and I knew they had a Chinese holiday, and I was like, okay, it's just going to take some time. Came actually faster, so I was happy about that. And one other little piece of wisdom I like to share here is get yourself some broom holders. All right, so these are fantastic to hold up your antenna. Let's say you're indoors or you're on a surface to where I'm not going to say it's outside, but indoors to where you want to hold up your antenna. There's a great way to quickly set it up with that 3M tape. And it has held perfectly. It's been up for over a month now with one of my antennas. Have had no issues. Okay, preferably you want your antennas outside because then you won't have bricks, you won't have metal studs, you won't have drywall or glass that's blocking that signal. If you can get outside, great. I wasn't able to get outside with my antennas, but for those of you who are looking for a solution for indoors to hang it up without like screwing in a bunch of apparatuses, this is a great way to put up your antenna here, okay? So I'll put that in the link in the description as well. So those are the basic products you need to get your Bobcat set up. All right, guys, so I wanted to show you a quick diagram here with screenshots of the difference of the stock antenna as opposed to the 5.8 antenna that I had, and then also placing it in my attic and what it did. But let's just do a quick drawing here. So let's say this is the house. You've got the attic there, 2-story, got a nice little doorway there, okay. You got, I had the miner in a closet right here, okay. So let's do a little antenna there, okay. So you can see that right there, all right. And so the antenna was there, and I was getting about 3 witnesses, okay. All right, so I was getting about 3 there. If you can see it right there. Yeah, there we go. All right, and I was just setting it up. I'm like, hey, my rack wireless antenna will come in later. I was getting about 3 there. And then, and of course, the miner was right there in the same area with the antenna, okay? And it was like, okay, I'm getting 3 here. 3 witnesses, okay? And I was getting, as you'll see here, I'll pull up the screenshot here. But within the first week, I got 0.14 HNT. Okay, that was pretty pathetic. Now, granted, there was someone else in my hex at that time, but I thought, okay, a whole week getting 0.14, that's what you should be making on a daily basis, okay? And you can see I had 3 witnesses there. I'll show it here on my screen. And then I went and put it upstairs, or not upstairs, I put it in my attic here. So I crawled up into my attic. I put the 5.8 antenna up there. I had my little wire come around here, and I had my Bobcat on the floor upstairs, okay? So now I have it there. Let's do that so you can see. Okay, there's my antenna, my nice antenna. Okay. I then went from 3 witnesses, okay, to suddenly I had jumped to 9 witnesses. I know you can't really read that, but I got 9, okay. Let's see that. There you go. Sorry, I'm learning how to draw and write all over again. 9 witnesses, okay? And I had also jumped to 3.92 HNT within 30 days, okay? From when I started it to when I had the HNT plugged in. Basically, I had the stock antenna for a week, and then the last 3 weeks was the 5.8, okay? And I had, I'll show you on the screen here, but you had seen basically for the first, let's say this is the first week, you got the second week, third, and then the fourth. Okay, so moving right along is like, oh, I've got little things here, you know, not much. You know, it looks like a lot when you first have the app pulled up, and then once I plugged in the stock antenna, the 5.8 dBi put up in the attic, suddenly it started shooting up like this. Okay, and I'll show you. Man, I cannot draw on this thing. Anyways, you guys are not critiquing my drawing. You better not be. All right, so you can see with that screenshot, it shot up. Okay, and by the way, the 9 was when I took that screenshot. I have seen anywhere from say 7 to, I can see anywhere up to like 15 witnesses. Okay. And so it fluctuates. It fluctuates day by day. But you can see, I mean, I was seeing on average at one point, I was seeing anywhere from 12 to 13. So jumping them that many from 3 witnesses here down on the second story, I thought, well, hey, it's a second story. That should help. But it was the stock antenna. It does crap. And then by putting it up into the attic here, up top, as high as I could get it, and I'll do a quick little video here in a second, that jumped it up instantly. Well, not instantly, but once things picked up and realized, hey, he's up higher, he has a better signal. I saw 9, and then of course anywhere from 7 to 15 was fantastic. So that's a quick overview of showing you the benefits of getting that 5.8 dBi, and then also getting it up into your attic, because that is very important. Never put it in front of windows. Never put it in front of like your screen mesh. That really degrades your signal. You have a lot of signal loss when that happens. People think, oh, I'll just put it in front of my window and I'll do fine. No, it's terrible. Get it away from your window. Put it in like a corner of the house, somewhere where it is as close to the outside wall, but there aren't like metal studs if you're in a newer building that are blocking that signal. You want to, if you can't put outside I should say is ideal. Okay, if you can get it outside, there are apparatuses that you can buy, and there are people that show you how to build ones outside. That's the best way to do it, because you can get it higher up. There is nothing blocking it when it comes to your house. But for those of us like me who can't do that right now, the best thing is to put it up here in your attic, get it as high as you can, and don't have anything blocking that signal. So that's my experience that I had with the attic, and let me show you actually real quick what it looks like. So just to show you guys real quick here, I've got my miner here, my Bobcat. Power's plugged in on over there, and I've got my coax cable running all the way over here, and then on up to where the antenna's at. It's hanging there. All right, the highest peak that I can get it up there. And yeah, it just does well. It's protected from the rain, snow, sleet, you name it. So that is my attic. So it's nothing pretty, but it just sits up here and it does really well. So that's all you have to do, guys. Give you another view here. Just sits right there up in the attic. All right, and moving right along, there are 3 things you can do if you see your miner in relay status. If you see that or it says relayed on the Helium Explorer, here are 3 things that you can do to help get you out of that situation and make sure that your modem and your router aren't blocking the traffic to where your Bobcat miner can't communicate with the Helium blockchain. Okay, so here are some things you can do. Once you go, for example, I'm going to use Xfinity because that's who I'm with. A lot of people have issues with that, but here's some solutions I found that has worked perfectly for me. You've got to go into the Xfinity XFi section to where you can actually edit within the modem and the router there. Okay, go to View Network Details. You're then going to see over here mine says turning on advanced security. It has been doing that ever since I upgraded my modem. I don't know why it still hangs there like that, but it does. But once you click in there, you should be able to go in and toggle it on or off. Make sure to turn off advanced security, because if you don't, it will shut off your miner. It won't allow your miner to communicate to the Helium blockchain, okay? So that is number one, point number one. Make sure to turn advanced security off, okay? Then we're gonna come on over to C network. You're then going to scroll down to advanced settings. From here, you're going to see port forwarding. This is step number 2. You're gonna check on your port forwarding. You want to open up that port forward, okay? So you're gonna see here, I've already got one set up for my Bobcat here. I've got that port number 44158, and I'm using that protocol of TCP to show you how you can do it. It's super easy. Just do add port forward, select the one you want to use. Your system may show up Bobcat miner, say Bobcat 300, whatever it may be. Go ahead and select the correct one. Make sure you're on manual setup. Just put in 44158. Come on down to TCP. That is what has worked for me and others that I did research on online. You're going to click next and then add it on, okay? And just keep in mind, it can take up to an hour for it to start working appropriately. So the best way to check to make sure that your settings were saved and that that port is open, come on over to portchecker.co. You're going to have your current IP. Come on over here, leave this FTP, leave that alone. Don't even touch that. Just go in and put 44158. You're going to click check. And then as you can see, it says my port 44158 is open. It will say closed in red if it still hasn't updated with your Xfinity router, okay? If you have another provider, it's gonna be different, okay? But in terms of using Port Checker, anybody can use Port Checker to check and make sure that port is open, okay? So this is the quickest way to see and make sure that it is open, and that is, I would say those two things are the biggest things you can do for your Bobcat miner to get it to work appropriately, okay? And then, if that still has not resolved things, there is a step number 3. All right, so then step number 3 here, if the first two settings still haven't solved your relay status issue, this one should. Not too many people have had to use it. I had to do some digging on this, but log into the gateway on your modem and router, okay? Come on over to firewall. You're gonna see IPv6 or IPv4, do 4. When I had mine loaded up here, it was on low for minimum security. Go on to custom, don't touch anything, just do custom, do save settings, okay? Save, boom, it's done, and then you can log out, okay? Seems super easy, but doing those 3 things helped me. So making sure the advanced settings was turned off, making sure I had that port forwarding to 44158 set up, and then of course, changing that IPv4 to custom. Those 3 things helped me out immensely. So I hope that those work for you. I see a lot of people on Discord, a lot of people on Reddit having issues with getting things set up between their particular internet provider. Just make sure that you try these 3 steps before going crazy or reaching out to customer support. Try those port forwarding option. Make sure to turn off advanced security. And then, like I said, that IPv4, okay? Do those first and then see if it fixes your issue, all right? And lastly here, what you all have been waiting for, what I am earning with my HNT. So let's hop in onto the screen here. So you can see here in the last basically 24 hours, I've gotten $4.49 in HNT. And then I did want to show you the comparison between the 2 locations that I have here. You can see here, yeah, we were talking about witnesses. I've got 5 in the last 3 days. That has changed quite a bit off and on depending on the day. But I did want to show you that updated aspect there. It's gone down to 5 as of the last 3 days. But you can see here, that's the 24 hours, okay? And let's jump to 30. So you can see in the last 30 days at this location, I have done $95.02, okay? That's, in my eyes, that's not bad for first starting out, the first month, okay? Within, 5 months, basically, my miner will be paid off, okay? And I'll show you here. Down here was very low earnings because what happened is that there was a new update that was pushed onto the miners. My miner actually went down for a couple days and I started freaking out like, okay, what's going on here? And I just did some research, realized, okay, it's a new update that got pushed. Don't freak out, let things settle, and just make sure, I wanted to make sure that my miner app was the proper updated app and that my miner was not experiencing any major issues. So I logged in and connected via Bluetooth with that miner to make sure that it was updated appropriately, that it was connected to the internet, the port forward was open and running smoothly, and it was. So that's what happened there. That after that, about for the next week or so, the earnings were quite low. I was not happy with that, but as I've learned with helium miners is just give it, sadly, but give it a week and see how your changes are affected. Don't freak out in the first hour or so or the next day. Give it a whole week and see if those updates have happened appropriately, if they helped you out. And of course it did. It shot back up there and things were fine back within just the whole blockchain, okay, when it came to helium. And so I'm happy where it's at there, okay? And then my second location, you can see it's gotten about $4.43 right now, okay? And let's jump up to the whole month. We're now at $100.87. So, hey, that's not bad the last 30 days. You can actually see these first two here. Actually, I did not set it up those first 2 days. So we've actually got 2 more days to see what we can do. So it'll probably be around $102 on average. But I'm excited with that as well. I mean, shoot, to have your miners paid off within 5 months, and this is also in what I would consider a bear market right now in crypto. It's very unique, but the price is down quite well from where it used to be, okay? But I'm thinking, hey, with where things are at right now, 5 months and they're paid off, I'm excited. So those are my 2 locations. You can see the difference there. They're making about the same and where they're at. The first location's in an attic. The other location is several stories up in a complex, and it works well. It works really well. I would love to get those antennas outside, but right now I just want to let it do its thing, and I'll consider possibly investing more money. I don't want to pour more money into something like this right off the get-go, and I want to make sure I have things correct and it's running smoothly before I just jump and make a big change. Just keep things where it's at. It's easy. It's climate controlled inside or in my attic. It's easy. There isn't any issues with water and damage that way. I don't have to buy any outdoor enclosures, things like that. So that's what I'm getting here on my earnings. I also want to let you guys know about a very unique app that just came out in the last couple of weeks. It's the Bobber app. Super helpful for those of you who have more than one miner. It allows you to go in and update and change and restart your miners from wherever you're logged into. So I had to do that one time with the miner in my second location, is that I went in, you select the gateways. I'm not going to do it here because I want to give away my personal info. But you click on gateways, it shows each one, it shows you how many blocks it's behind or if it's current with the current block on the blockchain. All right. And then you can select restart, you can turn off or on the miner. There are many things you can do. Check it out if you have multiple miners. It's fantastic to make sure you can keep your miners running smoothly without having to call up that family member or that friend or that business owner saying, hey, I know you're 5 hours away. I've heard of other people having it states away. Can you unplug the miner and plug it back in for me? I mean, it's a hassle. So this is smooth. It's not a beautiful UX designed app, but who cares? What is most important that you can reset your miner from the comfort of your own home, and you don't have to travel to wherever that miner is to reset it. So wanted to let you guys know about that little added extra there. And one other thing I want to let you guys know about, it's crazy how fast this blockchain, this idea of proof of coverage is just booming. So last year when I bought my miners, there's only about 52,000 miners on the blockchain, okay, that were mining. Now we're up to 717,413, and it's climbing. It's crazy. And I'm excited what this blockchain can do for proof of coverage, and that concept is completely different than proof of stake or proof of work. And it provides opportunities for businesses to utilize the blockchain and the coverage that's available to them to be able to monitor their products, to be able to monitor their systems that they have in place for whether it's agricultural or maybe it's medical or maybe it's the tourism industry, whatever it may be. So anyways, I thought it's pretty unique to be able to look back here and just see a cool image here of just how many miners are all over the world here. Like let's scroll over here, just to see it all over the place. And even like Iceland. I went to Iceland, and it's cool to see even just some miners are there in Iceland as well, and everyone is a part of this blockchain. So it's the people's network, as they call it. But anyways, guys, if you found this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to respond to them and provide helpful insight for you if you're having any issues, or if you just want to stop on by and say hi. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear your comments and see what you have to put on there. But anyways, guys, enough of me babbling away. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you when I see you.